Are these three young men who are being held in the disappearance of Natalee Holloway. But Aruba's justice system is different from ours, and there are a lot of things that Americans may not know about this. Andon Bicker is an attorney in Aruba. Rahul Manchanda is an attorney who specializes in international law. I'm going to start with you, Rahul. How do you think authorities are handling this case in Aruba right now?
Not very well, in my opinion. I think that there's been a series of misstatements by government officials in the beginning. We're now in the third week of the investigation phase at this point, and it really doesn't appear that they've produced any evidence. Nobody's been charged yet at this point. It just seems like a Keystone Cop situation. I have respect for the Dutch legal system, but at the same time, I think that in combination with the fact that Aruba hasn't seen these crimes before very often, it doesn't really appear that they're getting anywhere.
Andon, is this a Keystone Cop situation? Are authorities dropping the ball on certain things?
Well,
I'm sorry. I'm posing that to Andon. Can you hear me, Andon?
Yeah. Yes. Good afternoon. No, I think they're handling it very well. I mean, like, you have to understand that this case it does not appear very often in this side of the world, and for us, we have to understand that in any case that they're doing their best right now, and they're being, to my understanding, they're having much support from even American authorities, the FBI. So everybody wants to get on with their life. You know, if they could have solved the case yesterday, they would have done it already.
How much evidence do they really have on the three young men, Andon?
Well, in our system, you have to have reasonable facts and circumstances to call somebody a suspect. And that means that they have some reasonable facts and circumstances to hold them and detain them.
So they must have it, it's just that they're not... So they must have sufficient evidence on each of them individually, not them, I mean, you know, so each of them sufficient to hold them. So it's more a case, in your opinion, that they have it and that we just don't know what it is.
It is facts and circumstances that they might have made themselves, or that they might have committed a crime. They have those facts and circumstances right now. They can hold up a suspect up to 10 days, and then they can prolong it up to 116 days. So, you know, and all of that in the best interest of the investigation.
Rahul, considering that we were talking about the person who is missing, and again, we don't know if she's a victim of a crime, but let's just say that something happens for argument's sake. Does Aruba's law trump American law? Or, I mean, does the law of the suspects, their nationality trump the American law?
Not necessarily. There's a concept called sovereign immunity where a government can actually declare that their internal affairs should be left to their own government. But when you have a situation like this, you know, the U.S. and the Netherlands, which, by the way, Aruba is a Dutch protectorate, have many treaties together dealing with child abduction, narco-trafficking, white slavery issues. They have an extradition treaty together, but when you're dealing with a transactional criminal element like this, for example, a murder against or possible murder against a citizen, there's very little the U.S. can do unless the Aruban government consents to it voluntarily.
Right.
And I think at this point, the track record that we've seen so far, that we're in the third week of the investigation, we have people being arrested, rearrested, let go, misstatements by actual government officials. A radio station, I think, a top radio station got involved and found some evidence. Condoms, duct tape. Panties. I mean, these are things that they should be not touching. They should immediately let the law enforcement officials handle these investigations.
Very quickly, Andon, do you think that special treatment is being given to one of the suspects, Joran Vandersloot, because his father is a high judicial official?
No, nothing whatsoever.
Tell me why you say that.
Well, if you see that the father even had to start a case in order to see his son, that means that and they brought in a special judge from Curacao to handle the case in order to prevent any possible conflict of interest. So I don't think, based on my experience, 10 years practicing law here in Aruba, that in this case there might be any preferential treatment.
Gentlemen, thank you both very much. Needless to say, we're going to stay on top of this case and bring you any new developments as soon as we get them. We have much more ahead on Dayside, plus Martha McCallum is coming up at 2 p.m. Eastern on